Hello everyone, welcome to our new session. I will give you a riddle, so you have to guess and tell whom I am talking about. This is a riddle, students. A goose that can kill a cobra. Guess who I am? Yes. Are you able to guess? You can also observe this picture. Yes, these are mongoose. Okay, so students, today we are dealing with a prose, and the title of the prose is Friendly Mongoose. So, moving on to the chapter, I would like to ask you a question, students. Do you know what is Panchatantra? Yes? Anyone in the class, please tell me, do you know what is Panchatantra? So these are these 9 stories, and for further explanation I will show you a video.
Panchatantra is basically a collection of mostly animal-based tales, estimated to have been composed around 300 or 200 BCE. As regards its origin, there once was a wise king Amarashakti who had 3 sons, all of whom were quite his opposite: dull, dim-witted and ignorant. The king, frustrated with his son's ignorance, called the great old scholar Pandit Vishnu Sharma to his court on the advice of one of his ministers and entrusted him with the duty of making his sons intelligent and wise. Knowing that the normal way of teaching would have no impact on these dull princes, Pandit Vishnu Sharma started teaching the princes the morals, the ethics, and all the values of life by means of stories divided into 5 treatises or logical groups, which came to be known as the Panchatantra. The Panchatantras or the 5 treatises are Mitra Bheda, the separation of friends; Mitra Labha or Mitra Samprapti, the gaining of friends; Kakolukiyam, of crows and owls, basically war and peace; Labda Pranasam, loss of gains; and Aparikshita Karakam, ill-considered action or rash deeds. The original Panchatantra or the original script of this Panchatantra, having been composed in Sanskrit and having been passed down as per our ancient oral tradition, this is now the most frequently translated literary product of India and has a version not only in almost every major Indian language but innumerable foreign languages as well. This piece of literature is a source of pride for us Indians, and hence it is my endeavor to introduce our kids to this wonderful ancient masterpiece by incorporating some stories from them in the form of guided reading if possible.
Yes, tell me, what did you observe from the video? Now are you able to talk about something that is related to Panchtantra? Yes. Then we can say from the video we have got a brief introduction about Panchtantra stories, and the Panchtantra is an ancient Indian literature. The Panchtantra mostly includes animal tales, okay, and it was wrought in 200 or 300 BCE. And the Panchtantra, also known as five territories, okay, students, and which includes Mitra Beda. So the meaning of Mitra Beda is the separation of friends, and Mitra Labha or Mitra Sampati, the gaining of friends, and Kakolikam, and of crows and owls, and wars and peaces. And it is the fourth uh, treatise that is included in Panchtantra is Labda Prasanam, that is loss of gains, and Abarikshita Karkam, that is ill considered action, rash deeds. So these are considered as Panchtantras. Okay, students, so are you clear with this point? And the old Panchtantra stories were translated into English also, so all can, it is actually internationally available, and all the children can enjoy the story. So the language is not a limit for reading this Panchtantra story. So this is basically a ancient Indian story, which is actually found in India, and which is all about animal tales. Okay, friends, let's read the very first passage of the story. You have to listen carefully. Okay, while I'm reading, you have to listen carefully. Once a farmer and his wife lived in a village with their small son. They loved him very much. We must have a pet, the farmer said to his wife one day. When our son grows up, he need a companion. This pet will be our son's companion. His wife liked the idea. One evening, the farmer brought with him a tiny mongoose. It's baby mongoose, said his wife, but will soon be fully grown. He will be a friend to our son. So, here you have to tell me the meaning of companion. Do you know the meaning of companion? Yes, we can say a partner or a person whom we spend a lot. Okay, so this is the meaning of companion. You can see in the very first passage they are actually introducing the character. Who was the character, students? Farmer is there, and his wife is also there, and they have their son, and also their son has a companion, that is mongoose. I will give you a brief explanation of this particular passage. Okay, students, actually one day the farmer and wife is discussing something, and the farmer said that we must have a pet, and the wife agreed to that. You can see here. And one evening the farmer brought with him a tiny mongoose. Okay, students, so hereby you can see who is the pet here? Mongoose. So the mongoose was the pet of his house, and it's a baby mongoose, said his wife, but will soon be fully grown. And her husband told her it will be fully grown soon, and it will be friend, or it will be a companion for our son. So are you clear with this passage, students? Then tell me, how can a pet be companion for life? Share about your own pet. Okay, so do you have pet in your home, students? So what are your experience? Is that your pet is your companion or not? Yes, definitely a pet can be a companion. Why? Why, students? Because we know that they are very close to us, and they know our emotions. They will support of our works also, and they are the one who love us. Okay, so we can say that we can conclude that a pet can be a companion for life. Okay, this is to test your understanding. Who is the companion of farmer's child for life? Who was the companion? In the previous passage, we have read that yes, this is mongoose. Okay, then here is an activity for you. So, what are the physical features of these mongoose? Yes, in this picture, you can analyze what are the physical features. Yes, it has long tail. Here you can see, and long body, and we can say it is small in size, but here you can see the rounded ears. Okay, it has a rounded ears and also short legs. Short legs are here, and it has a tapering tail, which means what, students? Tapering means what? It means narrower tail. So it has narrower tail also. Then this is the second passage. I will read the passage to you. So listen carefully. Both the baby and the mongoose grew. In 5 or 6 months, the mongoose had grown to its fully size. A lovely animal with two shining black eyes and a bushy tail. The farmer's son was still a baby in a cradle, sleeping and crying alternately. One day, the farmer's wife wanted to go to market. She fed the baby and rocked him to sleep in his little cradle. Picking up the basket, she said to her husband, I'm off to bazaar. The baby is sleeping. Keep an eye on him. Frankly, I don't like to leave the child alone with mongoose. You needn't be afraid, said the farmer. The mongoose is a friendly animal. It's as sweet as our baby and they are the best of friends, you know. Okay, so from this passage you can see that there are difficult words, students. So tell me the meaning of cradle. Here you can see this is cradle. It means a small bed for baby. Okay, students. So in this particular passage, I will describe this passage to you. Both the baby and mongoose were grew, and they were in their 6 month, and we can see here the mongoose had grown to its full size. Okay, and we can conclude that it is a lovely animal, and it has shining black eyes also and bushy tail also. And the farmer's son was still a baby in the cradle. Okay, and every time the baby is sleeping in cradle and crying alternatively. Okay, then uh, one day, here you can see in this second passage, one day the farmer's wife wanted to go to the market. Okay, and she fed the baby and rocked him to sleep in his little cradle. Here you can see he is sleeping, and picking up the basket, she said to her husband, what she said, students? She said that actually she is afraid to leave her child with mongoose, and she is saying that keep an eye on him. So what is the meaning of frankly here, students? It means honestly. Okay, so honestly the wife said, I don't like to leave the child alone with the mongoose. Actually she was afraid to leave her child along with mongoose. Okay, then the husband said, you need not to be very, said the farmer. The mongoose is a friendly animal and it is sweet as your baby, so you do need not to be worried. Okay, so let's see what happened in the next slide. Here is a question for you, students. If you were at place of farmer's wife, would you leave your child with an carnivorous animal. So tell me, what does the meaning of carnivorous? It means meat eater. What it means, students? It means meat eater. So can you leave as like this? Tell me your answer. Yes. No, because we will not leave the child along with mongoose, because it is a carnivorous, which means meat eater. There can be a chance to attack him, the child, attack the child. Okay. Then this is to test your understanding. It had shiny black eyes and tail, dash tail. What was the physical feature which is mentioned in the passage, students? It is about mongoose. Yes, tell me. That is bushy tail. Here you can clarify the things. That is bushy tail. So here is a recapitulation part. What is a Panchtantra? Yes. So we can say the Panchtantra is an ancient Indian literature, and the Panchtantra is mostly included animal based tales. So the friendly mongoose is also considered as a Panchtantra tale. Okay, then the next question is, farmer bought which animal? Yes, mongoose. Okay, then list the physical characteristics of mongoose. As we discussed that it is very small in size, and we can say that it has long faces and bodies, and rounded ears also, and short legs, and tapering tails, which means narrower tails. Okay, and it has bushy tails also. And create a sentence on cradle. So you have to tell me the meaning of cradle. So tell me the meaning of cradle, students. Yes, do you remember the meaning of cradle? Yes, cradle means what? A small bed for a baby. Okay, then let's see. Let's create a sentence about the word cradle. Okay, so I will give you an example of one sentence which is included the word cradle. So the baby slumbered in his cradle. The baby slumbered in his cradle. So here, what is the meaning of slumbered, students? Which means sleeping. Okay, then the homework: create a word exposition chart from the word learned today. So you have to create this table like this. Word, we have to include word meaning, synonyms and antonyms of the word, and draw a picture of a mongoose and a child playing. Speak on topic. My companion sent the recording to my mail. Okay, thank you, students. Thank you so much for joining the class.